Explore your soul, right? You want to, what I'm saying. First off, what's up? How y'all doing, man? It's your boy, and we just want to talk about exploring your soul, you know, exploring the nature of who you actually are. Explore the world around you. Learn and discover and distinguish and discern the connection you have, the connection of you in the world around you. See how you are a manifestation of nature, just like everything else is a manifestation of nature. See these things. Go out alone and sit in silence in the world, away from the phone, away from the videos and the constant squawking of the telephone, and analyze where you fit in into creation, because you do fit in because you're here. So where do I fit in? Where am I at home in the world? Asking yourself this when you're out in that environment will put you in a meditative state to where you'll begin to contemplate certain truths and come to a greater state of self-awareness. Now, for every increase in your self-awareness is the increase in your own personal peace, your own personal happiness, and your personal effort and power. A lot of the times the goal is power. We want more money, we want more, love, we want more acceptance in our community. All of that is a form of power. And that power is only one type of power, which appears differently when we view it differently, but it's still just effort that has been sustained. So to accumulate power, you need to actually put effort where the effort needs to be. To accumulate a certain type of power, you need to put effort where that effort needs to be and where it will be of most use to give you that kind of power. If you want more money, you have to focus on getting more money. If you want more love, you have to focus on creating more of an environment in your life to where you can create love, create an environment of love so that love can come in, create an environment where money can come in. So as you explore your soul, you'll begin to understand, wow, magnetism, electromagnetism, electricity, energy, vibes. You'll begin to understand these types of things, and it'll make you aware of a place in your mind where often you've never ventured or you are entirely unconscious of. And this place is a source of energy. It's an actual, let's call it a dimension in you where you can hold a certain type of energy, where a certain type of energy is, certain type of magnetism is. And when you do this through sitting with yourself, you will begin to understand, wow, okay, this is a lot of energy. I need to learn how to control this. The way you control this is by seeing the emptiness of it all. You have to see that your thoughts, your mind itself, and all of the constructs in it, even your body, is an entirely empty thing. It is not a thing filled with anything. It's an entirely empty thing. It gives you the appearance of fool because your senses keep telling you something. But in reality, everything is empty. Empty space. 99.9% of the world is empty space, if not all of it. It's just empty space. This is not solid matter as it appears to be. But don't just take my word for it, explore it. See where you go with that. See where that is, and it'll make perfect sense to you in the way that it was meant to make sense to you. But the prerequisite is for exploring the soul, because you can't really explore anything unless you truly give yourself the space and the freedom to explore a thing, especially not the soul. The soul is not exploring a path in the woods you've never been on. You have to be alert. You have to be aware because there are other things on the path that could pop up. The soul is something that you must sit and silence everything to explore. You have to rest in it. You don't have to be alert in it as much as you need to rest in it if you desire to have the knowledge and obtain that knowledge and retain that knowledge. You want to rest. And to rest, we have to empty our mind of all concepts. We have to empty our mind of what we think things are. We have to let go of what we think things are. And when we do that, we exist in a state where the mind is no more and only the soul is present. Now, truly, the soul was already there. It was always there. It never disappeared. But the mind appeared because the soul forgot that it cannot disappear. Stay with me. That makes sense. It's perfectly down to a science. It makes sense, but unless it's experienced, it won't make sense. Either way, if you can get yourself into a state where you can sustain a space of silence in your mind for long enough, you will naturally perceive the energy of the soul, which is an actual causal form of energy that everything around you has. We'll call it life force. When you explore your soul, you'll know these things. And I have more videos on my Patreon talking about life force and how to use it. But those are a little bit more advanced techniques. But if you want to try that out, the link is in the description. So ultimately, we want to be able to do these things, and we want to be able to do them on command. We want to be able to clear our mind into an empty state on command. We want to be able to incorporate silence in our mind on command, because when we can do that, then we have greater control over one, our life force, and two, over our vision that we have. And our vision is our purpose as beings in existence. So you can fulfill your vision much easier when you have had and created space in your mind and you've rested. Because what I'm explaining to you is when you clear your mind of thoughts, you're going to sleep. It's sleep. When you clear your mind of thoughts, you are going into a state of sleep, a sleep-like state. So while your body may not be fully asleep, as in your consciousness may still be somewhat in your body or with your body, for all intents and purposes, you do not exist anymore. And that's what we want to get you into. We want to get you into a state of non-existence. We want to get you to a point where you can feel comfortable in letting go into that state of non-existence because you've become comfortable with emptying your mind of thoughts. To empty your mind of thoughts is to rest in a state of non-existence. When you rest in a state of non-existence, then you allow one, your vision, who you actually are, the thoughts of which you actually are, the ones you actually hold in you as a part of your actual real purpose for being here. You allow those thoughts to surface. And you allow also other thoughts that are not in alignment with that to surface. And you get to see which ones fulfill and captivate and pull you more at your core. And you can lean and put yourself in a direction towards the ones that fulfill you while allowing the ones that don't fulfill you to shrivel up and die and disappear because you just starve them of your life force. Life force is a force that comes from your being. And by being, or focusing your attention, which is being, on a thing, you sustain it with your life force. By pulling your attention away from a thing or being away from a thing, you pull your life force from the thing. And therefore, it can't sustain itself anymore because it requires your soul force or life force in order for it to even have an existence in your mind. So, cultivate silence. Find time to be silent. Find time to be still. Find time to rest so that when it's time to work, when it's time to think, when it's time to act, you know what you need to do and who you need to be and how you need to act. Because from your rest, you have determined and distinguished those things that you should do because they will fulfill you, and those things that you will not do because they will not fulfill you. Explore the soul.